All right, hey kids, we're live on, entering turn one here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The high vantage point. Matt and John here. It's race day, and Matt, man, I love it out here on a race day. You and I both came out here, a few days before. It's like an eerie, kind of calm, kind of soothing kind of atmosphere, but now you feel the energy here inside the track. Kyle Busch looking for a sweep. So he won Friday, going away. He was the favorite Saturday. He wins that race. He actually he was in 33rd place at one point yesterday and kind of just basically passed up the entire field to get back out front to win it. And now he's starting third for today's race. But, it's just great to be out here. We're going to, expect another massive crowd here. And judging by the fans in the seats here, I'd say it's another near sellout. It usually is for this first race. It's that other one that's in September where it's 100 degrees outside. Yeah. Maybe a different, outcome as far as the stands go. But, man, we're here, and I'm just excited to be here on race day.
Well, they're moving September tonight, aren't they? I don't know if this year, but next year I can't remember.
4:15 start.
Yeah, so not necessarily nighttime, but it'll be later in the day. So maybe
nighttime. Did you say nighttime? Sorry.
Nighttime. Yeah, well, that's 1 o'clock, I think. 1 o'clock is nighttime. So as the day progresses, it'll get a little better on the track. But today's great. We love it out here. You talked about Kyle Busch. 2 top 6 finishes already this season, I believe. Really good showing in Daytona, and then won it last week in Atlanta. My dark horse today, I'm going with Joey Logano.
It's not a dark horse, though.
Well, I mean,
okay, fine.
Kyle Busch is running away with things right now. Denny Hamlin won the Daytona 500. I think he finished 11th last week. Joey Logano, I was watching him last week, ran really well on that mile-and-a-half track. Little different setup. They expect a little more drafting style out here with the way they change the horsepower and the way this track is configured versus the mile-and-a-half in Atlanta. But he's starting 10th, so top 10 start. I expect him to do good things this week. I think you're going to see a much different race out here than what we've gotten accustomed to seeing in Vegas.
Oh, so we're going straight to picks here. That's fine. I'll pick Kyle to win it because I want to see him get the sweep. But I wouldn't call Logano a dark horse, and he's always run well at this track. But I have big money on Joey, and here, I can break down betting because I love betting on the race because it's a lot of action, it's a lot of fun. So Logano, what I took on him was finishing 7th or better. Right, and it was minus $1.20, like which means you lay. Well, I laid 24 to win $20. Not a big deal. But Logano always finishes well in Las Vegas unless he gets taken out. So I think that's a surefire bet. As far as the top for favorites go, it's the usual suspects that always run great here in Vegas. Keselowski, last I checked yesterday, was 4.5 to 1. Kevin Harvick or Polster, 5.5 to 1. Kyle Busch is 5.5 to 1. Logano, I took him, I think, 8.5 to 1. I always like him to win this race as well, so I put a little bit down on that as well. And then you have, the value play. Again, Jimmy Johnson's won out here 4 times, I think, and he's like 22 to 1. I know the guy's been struggling for a little bit, but that's always just a fun place to put some money and get a little bit of action.
You mentioned Keselowski, and he actually won last week. I was thinking it was Kyle Busch. Kyle finished 3rd, I think, last week. But I think it was Keselowski that won last week.
I didn't see who won last week's race. Yeah. Great. We're experts. Yeah, great. Nice job.
Earlier, and I watched the race, and I still can't remember. But, Keselowski always runs well out here. And yeah, you know what? He did win last week because he's driving the Mustang now. Now that Ford has changed over to the Mustang, you're seeing a Mustang and Camaro out here on the track. That's always fun to see.
Toyota is now driving the Supra, so they're all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, it's these cars have gotten such a great design look to them out here now. It's so different than we used to see. What do we have? The Pontiac Grand Prix and the Chevy Monte Carlo at one time. Now we've got muscle cars out
Chevy
here.
Lumina, I think the Lumina.
Yeah, it was out here too. I mean, we've got the Camaro, we've got the Mustang out here, and I mean, just visually, it's awesome. I know our buddy Ron, who always likes to chime in with some hot take, is bashing NASCAR right now. But if you haven't been out here for a race and you've never experienced just the pageantry, the noise, the color, everything that goes with it, it's a lot of fun out here, man. I got my first taste of it 21 years ago when they ran their first race out here, and it's awesome. I've been out here pretty much every year since.
So you're going Logano with the win.
I'll go with Logano.
Yeah, I'll go with Kyle. And then there should be a lot of fun in between. And something else, again, while we may not know who won the race last week, we pay attention to NASCAR big time. Yeah. So we know the speeds have come down dramatically, which is what we were just looking at before we came on live. And if you're not familiar with the sport, basically what they did, or they're doing for a lot of races this year, is that they're essentially, backing off the horsepower to encourage more competitive racing. Yeah. That's what they're doing here in Las Vegas. So you're seeing these lap speeds are down. The record was 194. Now they're hovering around 180.
180, yeah.
So you're going to have a tighter field. Could mean more cautions, but should mean a more exciting finish, I think, and that's what the fans are going to get at.
Well, I think what you're going to see now is, and it's not a restricted plate race like Daytona and Talladega, where they're going 200 plus miles an hour. You never touch the brake. It's just open throttle the whole way. But you are going to see, based on what they had in testing here last month with these new horsepower regulations, you're going to see a little bit more of that drafting style out here. Again, it's a mile and a half like Atlanta, but it's a different kind of track. Atlanta's a real choppy style surface. A little better embankment, a little better track surface out here in Vegas. So they're expecting some drafting racing out here, and that makes for a lot of fun, because you can slide back 10 spots and find your way back up to the top in a matter of a lap or two. Unlike what you see out here a lot of races in the past, which is guys get out to a half a lap lead to a full lap lead, and half the field is 2 or 3 laps down by the second stage, and it just, again, makes for kind of a boring race versus the competitiveness you're going to see out here today.
A couple of things that I want to touch on before we get out of here. Evan Marshall, UNLV offensive lineman, is the gas man for Kevin Harvick's team. We got an interview with him, so we'll have that on an upcoming show, which is really neat. And really quick, Golden Knights playing the Vancouver Canucks today. We had Rugby Sevens is out here, their championship day. I think it's today. Yeah, it is today. It's a huge sports weekend. Everybody promoting it. Yeah, exactly. We chose to come here because we love race weekend. Anything else to add? Maybe about the game tonight? Knights win.
Yeah, I think the Knights win their 4th in a row today, and head into Wednesday's game against Calgary, who's the best team in the West, leading the points right now. I think they head into that game on a high, and I'm looking at maybe 8 total goals in that game. I think you're going to have a lot of fun on Wednesday if you're there.
All right, well, we'll be out here at the track all afternoon, maybe celebrating a Kyle Busch victory. My pockets would be lined if that happened.
Come on, Logano.
Yeah, exactly. Joey Logano as well. All right, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.